It's just emotions taking me over. I'm caught up in sorrow, lost in the song. But if you don't come back, come home to me, darling. Don't you know there's nobody left in this world to hold me tight? Don't you know there's nobody left in this world? Kiss goodnight. Conversations NQZ with Nqobile and Zethu.
We come back.
Yes, thank you guys for coming back. Last time we discussed a lot about our childhood, a lot about how we were cousins. At some point we became friends, and yeah, we took you guys on a journey through maybe a typical, maybe in some instances atypical black homes, and yeah, we will continue on our journey. We'll continue to take you through that journey. So let's walk together, Johnny Walker. Yeah, ish. So after high school, we both went off to higher institutions, and I went to Cape Town.
I went to Durban.
Ooh, yes. So obviously there was distance, but what I love about us that for me that really made us actually so much closer.
It did.
And we understood each other so much better. We would like share like, oh my gosh, Sam Smith, oh my gosh, this,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, school,
I think that's
oh my
when we
gosh.
started appreciating Instagram.
Yes.
When Instagram was still like properly Instagram, when people were not posting for the sake of likes and everything.
Yeah.
We were literally just posting pictures of
pictures.
sunsets and what. I remember
That was a healthy
that was when Instagram was quite great actually. I enjoyed Instagram.
Yes.
When it wasn't about flashing life and but now obviously because everything is getting to a point where communication or rather adverts are now becoming boring, so now you're going to Instagram to do adverts. Now you have influencers, now they need that platform to showcase whatever product it is to reach a larger, bigger audience. But I liked Instagram still.
It was amazing. It was so amazing. It was so amazing because I remember people used to. We were like, everyone was like sort of amateur photographer.
It was.
And people would post sunsets.
Yes.
People would be posting their coffee banana specifically. It was never in.
It was all about photography.
Yes, and sharing like interests and I guess passions. It was so beautiful.
It was.
It was so beautiful.
There was absolutely like zero pressure in terms of anything and everything.
Yes.
You just posted whatever you thought was a really, really nice picture.
Yeah.
And you shared it with everybody else. Everybody like, this is nice, you should have tried taking it from this angle. It was really positive and I enjoyed it. But yeah, I think when you went to Cape Town and I went to Durban, we really did actually become more friends than any other time in our lives. Weird, but distance did bring us closer.
Distance definitely brought us closer.
It did. I don't know whether it's because sometimes when you're so far or from someone and then you start appreciating it because as you come across or as you meet different people, you then realize, you know what? I actually miss that homely feeling whereby I could speak my mind and the most interesting part is while you were in Cape Town, while I was in Durban, we were both also growing as individuals as well.
Definitely.
You know, you were becoming yourself, you were meeting yourself, you were understanding how you are as a person as well. So I was also going through the same, my own things, but somehow we were able to just find each other and really find so much peace in having conversations, and that's when I think our friendship really grew and it became stronger.
Yes, I think for me, definitely same sentiments.
Yeah.
And the fact that we have to now put effort into, let me call this person.
Yes.
Let me actually talk. Let me actually send a message. And I think for me, when I was in varsity, I got to know myself over time. So I think first year was a whirlwind of just figuring out how to cope academically, figuring out how to cope away from home. And I think for me, you were a space of I can be myself.
Yeah.
I don't need to have the pressure of am I fitting in, am I not? I was like, oh my word, I really love this person. I relate to this person. I can be myself. I can be free. You know, I can be homely.
Yeah.
You know, I can feel at home. So I really appreciated that phase.
Me too. I also think I really did. And also, Mubuga, like with me being in Durban, you know how Durban is always known as the city of fun playground of South Africa. Bashonjan.
Yeah.
So that's what they call it. So now I was going through my own phase, and I decided, funny enough, to keep the friends that I have. I didn't, you know, start new friendships because I'm such a person that I like to keep my circle small, even if it's a circle or my dots or whatever it is, what they say.
Yeah.
I've always been an advocate of that. So I'm not going to start now in tertiary and inviting new people in my life and explaining how my way of doing things is, how my thinking process works. I don't want to do that. I just don't like over-explaining myself.
Yeah.
So I kept the friends that I have, which I still have today.
Yeah.
So that's why I appreciated our friendship, because in as much as I kept the friends that I had, our friendship was also growing, or our relationship rather was growing more into the friendship zone of things as well, which was just great to experience, and we still are experiencing ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that about us.
I loved it. There was this one December.
Yeah.
When I was taken, our parents wanted to go to Durban. It was close to your brother's wedding, and your mom needed to find blankets and all that.
Yes.
So then we had to go to Durban, and we were happy to go on holiday. And so we went with our moms. And
I remember we were looking at each other
the whole time, just rolling eyes, just like lava.
they were siblings.
They are really
They are
siblings.
siblings.
They are such. It's so weird to witness because they are our moms and they're older, but you can see, and it's the little like differences and the little like
It is actually
arguing with each other.
It's so weird to watch because you think, now but they can be
They're not
siblings
growing
as
up.
well. Like, when we eventually grow up, I'm not gonna grow out of certain things. But
Yeah.
like born, they were literally being siblings, and it was so awkward and weird to watch. Our parents are like watching our mom and her sisters, and you're like, oh, alright. So yeah, that was wow. I forgot about this.
And so I feel like those experiences, because now there's space, because we're both at school, and then we come back and it's like, oh, now we get to spend time with each other.
Yeah.
And we appreciated you more.
We did.
And I think we've touched on this, as you're getting to know yourself better, because I think a lot of people sort of start finding themselves after varsity, etc., etc. Then you're like, actually, I love this person in my life. I'm not just in their life because our mothers happen to be sisters, but no, I really appreciate you in my life.
As an individual, and you think to yourself, even if we were not somewhat related, I think I would really like this friendship to still be a friendship, you know. And what I also appreciate about our friendship is the fact that whatever disagreements we have, I don't know how to put it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to put it. It's like if we don't agree on something, she will say what she has to say. She'll say her piece. I'll say my piece.
And we keep moving. And we literally, we are like that.
Like we done.
And we'll rest on the fact that, okay, sharp. I don't know if it's because we're both born in February, but we don't kill it.
We don't.
That we don't have to. We don't agree. Okay, cool. Moving right along.
Exactly. We have different.
We don't have to agree on everything.
Because at the end of the day, we have different DNA. So obviously.
Exactly. It's a whole different person.
Obviously, we're going to have different opinions.
Yeah.
Obviously, how I see things and how you see things is not always going to be the same, you know? Even sometimes you're colorblind. I say you're wearing gray. You say, no, but it's not gray. And then you come up with a color I've never known about. Then you're also teaching me something, you know? But having a disagreement is not the end of the world. It really is healthy and it's okay. You know? It becomes unhealthy when it becomes something else other than a disagreement. When I start imposing my opinion on you and I don't want you to have your own opinion, then it becomes a problem.
Yes.
Yeah. Other than that, Yes, we just I feel like
as well, for me, one of the things that I have loved about our friendship and has stood out to me from a lot of other friendships where I feel like I have to sit back and I'm like, are we still friends? Is this happening? Should I be here? Is we don't compete.
Yeah.
We are not jealous. I literally, like, I love Nqobile's wins.
I was about to say, I get so inspired by your wins as well, because I'm thinking to myself, then listen, if Zethu can do it, I should see Nancy Siagwas. Because I also feel like when you overcome something and you become successful, and I'm thinking to myself, Zethu has literally just paved a way for us all to go through that route, if we ever wanted to go through that route. She's made it okay for everybody else following. We'll see the next generation. We'll see, as we've seen, if Zethu like put us at a level where she says this can be how you start your life, or this is where you can be like,
nothing. I feel like when we were younger, maybe like my mom used to say she loves like Nqobile's confidence. So my mom used to talk about it. She's like, Nqobile, like, I like the way she speaks, you know? And I remember I used to say to her, me too. Like it was never a, oh, how can you like this? And you've always been this person. Like if there was other cousins of ours here, Nqobile is that person. Nqobile like she knows how to like own the crowd. She'll just be like, okay guys, like a never puppet. And so
that's embarrassing.
But you're just confident like that. You're not like,
that's embarrassing.
And I've always admired it. I've never thought, oh wow, you know, like how come she's confident? How come, she's so good with navigating people and spaces. I've just always been like, wow, grand, like, you know, and even like your beauty, I just always am like, this is so worth celebrating. Your mind, your everything. I think for me, I love that about our friendship. We don't have to come in and like, negotiate for this and this because you're scared that the other person will be like, please don't shine, please don't be yourself.
Yeah. It's about, I love the fact that you brought that up. It's because now I've never felt like at any point when I'm with you, I feel like I have to put myself in a position where, Marilyn, watch how I speak, watch how I do things, what I say. I say what I want and I say what I said, and that's on that. And I feel, and I love the fact that I say it and you don't judge me for it. It's like, she said her, like, sometimes you'll be like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly how I feel. I feel like I've been holding that in for so long. Now, here it is. I'm sorry, you have to take it. Here it is. And I love that about our friendship, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
I really do. I was even thinking about how during like a time in my life whereby everything for me was at a standstill per se, when I was going through my pregnancy, because I was still very young at that time. There's so many things that go through your mind at that time, because when I felt pregnant I was like 21, and I feel like at that time, first of all, mentally I was not ready to have a child. And then physically as well, I was still trying to even understand my own body, So I did something, and I realized that, sometimes you overtrust. You become so dependent on the other person that you forget yourself. You have dreams, and then you have hopes and you want to know what you want to do. And then you become so codependent on the other person because they're older, they're wiser, thinking that they'll protect your dreams instead of you yourself protecting your dreams as well.
That is profound.
Right? So now, with that being said, I ended up getting pregnant. And when I was going through my pregnancy, I feel like that was a time when I had such a serious encounter with God. Because at that point, I feel like God was like, it's just me and you right now. Because the way society, remember that when we mentioned on the first episode how I was brought up, Christian background, strict parents, and you understand? So I'm the last born of 5 kids. And all my siblings are older. None of them have had kids. And my other brothers are married, and then comes the last born to just get a child. Imagine. So my parents are also going through what they're going through. Say, oh my gosh, what did we do? Dear Lord, are you punishing us? You know? But it wasn't even on them.
Yeah.
You know, they did what all they can do and teach me as a child. Would say, teach my ways. Yeah, but me, now I made my mistake of, like I mentioned, of trusting someone too much with my life, not knowing that I am responsible for my own future. So the accountability, yes, I did later on, but I was so fortunate that during my pregnancy, luckily at school, the first 6 months was theory, so I wasn't pregnant then. So I was pregnant towards the end of the first semester. So the second semester was supposed to be where I find a job and then I go and get my accreditations as well in terms of surveying. So I had that 6 months to be at home, look for a job in terms of getting experience as well. So during that time where I was at home, I had so much time to spend with God and myself.
Sure.
Right? Because my siblings are at work and they are in Johannesburg. So I'm at home with my mom and my dad most of the time, you know. So with that being said, I had so much time during the day to just sit with God and have conversations, and like I can even tell you the songs that were playing in my mind in my radio at the time. But what I'm trying to say is that at that time, I realized so many things with how society is so comfortable with criticizing a female.
Yeah,
then
two people.
When it took two people, you understand? As it is, I'm not saying we must fight to be equal to men. We can never be equal to men. I mean, we don't even look the same. You know, there's a reason why God created Adam and Eve.
Yes.
You understand? We are not supposed to be equal. We were never created to be each other's equals. You know, we were never created. And for me, like Marilyn Monroe once said that if you strive to be like a man, you lack ambition.
Yeah.
Which is true. Why do you want to be like a man? A man is a man. You understand? And notice how the Bible always refers to wisdom as she.
Yes.
The Bible often, because if you think about it, let's quickly go back, because if we were all to go to basic real quick, right, real quick, this is how it is supposed to be done. Women were supposed to be women, take care of their husband, as written in Proverbs 31, right?
Yeah.
Then you have men. Men were supposed to be loving, providers of their family. That's how they get their blessings. That's how a man is supposed to get his blessings, right? By honoring your family, by loving your wife.
Yeah.
You understand? And the woman is supposed to be submissive to their husband. But now you can't be submissive to something that you don't see and something that's not tangible. So with that being said, that's what you're trying to mold, right? But now, if I'm going to be that woman in Proverbs 31, and somehow in my life, I'm unfortunately going to fall pregnant, as society, then you shouldn't put me down and now make me feel like I can never be the woman in Proverbs 31.
Yes.
You shouldn't force me to feel like, okay, this is the end of the world. No. Because with a man is not crucified for getting me pregnant. He continues with his life. That's okay. I'm the one who's carrying the child. Got you. And then now after that, he can decide, do I want to be part of the child's life
Or not.
or not?
Imagine.
And if not, nobody's going to sit here and say, how dare you be a deadbeat father? Maybe someone will say, how dare you become a deadbeat father? Maybe. But men, when they sit around, they hardly say, well, no, you don't take care of your child, but here you are blowing up, popping bottles. You understand what I'm saying? But society will look at you as the woman and say, you are the one who picked that man to be the father of your child.
We do.
You know, you are the one who picked that man, and you knew very well. But then people forget that sometimes.
I knew him as a boyfriend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't know him as a father. I knew him, and even if we were in a position whereby okay, I'm allowing him to be the father of my child, I would have compared to how he was treating me as a boyfriend. You know, so you would have, because you see how he is as a boyfriend. So with that being said, I went through a lot of that. You know, I remember this one time when Uzanel. She came she came after work. She asked me, what am I craving? I'm like, this pregnancy, I crave nothing. Absolutely nothing. So she came with whatever she came. I don't even recall what she came with. And we sat and we spoke. I think she was trying to, because during my pregnancy, I wasn't talking much. I just kept quiet, you know. So with that being said, I had a lot of people come in and say what they want to say, you know. So Uzanele came, we were talking, she's like, so what's the plan? After pregnancy, what do you want to do, you know? She spoke about it as if, okay, now that you have graduated, what do you want to do? You know, she spoke about like, okay, it's done.
It's happened, yeah.
This is it. We're not going to dwell on this, you know.
Wow.
And after that, funny enough, while we're still having that conversation, Ugo walks in as well. So Ugo walks in, she comes in, and then she's like, have you eaten this? Have you eaten that for strength and then she quickly makes something in the kitchen, then we eat, and then she also says the same sentiments as Uzanele, and she's like, you need to fix yourself, you need to sort yourself, you must know it's not the end of the world, and sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need that because society judges too much. And when you have that, it's so warm and so comforting. I remember at some points, my parents had a group of friends. So my dad was 7 and so they had a group of friends, a support structure,
Yeah.
and then they came and they called me in, and everybody literally around the room went around and talked about how disappointed they were.
Oh my God.
Every one of them.
You can't imagine how
You
it
know,
feels.
and I'm thinking to myself, I wonder if with the other party involved in this, you know. And then I'm like, society yes, because I'm thinking to myself, these people are sitting here as old and wise as they're supposed to be. They're coming here and throwing stones as if they walk out and they walk like heaven and they are angels on earth. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, casting stones as if you don't live in a glass house. You understand what I'm saying? So for me, when that happened, I realized that when it comes to society. Yeah, life is life. But the great thing about it is it also makes you become very resilient.
Sure.
And you become resilient for yourself.
Wow.
And that's what it did for me personally. I became more resilient for myself. And because of that and what I went through at that time, you cannot come for me with anything. It made me bad, but it didn't have to be like that.
Yeah.
It really didn't have to be like that, you know.
There are different ways to... Yeah.
So it honestly didn't have to be like that, and I feel like that's how we are. I read a book once, a TD Women That Are Lucid, before they had this newer version.
Yeah.
So that book said, there's a part where TD says, with a woman, you are pregnant for 9 months.
Yeah.
Therefore, with everything that you go through in life as a woman, that's exactly how it's going to be. Even if it is a job interview, even if you're in a work environment, with women, you are always going to be like that pregnant woman, and you're going to always struggle to give birth to either your idea, give birth to either your progress. You know. So when Nkulunkulu gave us all our punishments, indoda kwathiwa izokuthukuzayo thina kwathiwa sizokhulelwa.
Genesis 3 is the most.
Exactly right. When everybody got what they deserve, you know, and then everybody got their punishment, and then uNkulunkulu, when he said ukuthi umuntu wesifazane you give birth kabuhlungu, said it will be painful, and you give birth uzokuthatha 9 months.
Wow.
Oh wait, so it's deeper than that. You shouldn't look at it as pain. Not just giving birth because unengane, but literally with every idea, it will never come easy.
Nothing will.
That's why I was.
That is facts. So
yeah,
that is the curse.
It's never going to come easy.
That is the curse.
Pick a tree, become that tree.
Wow.
So I picked one. I said I'm going to be a palm tree.
Yeah,
I picked one there. I said I'm going to become a palm tree, weather the storm.
Sure.
Winter I'm there, summer I'm there, autumn I'm there. When the leaf falls, another one grows. Have you ever seen when a palm tree try? The summer you.
No, it's the
winter you.
corn.
Always.
I want to take you back to something you said, which I found very interesting. You said that's when you could hear God so clearly and closely. And I definitely, I keep saying that I agree with your sentiments. I don't know saying we don't always agree, but I feel like when I was unemployed, I felt way closer to God. Because that silent season. And so I asked you an interesting question last week. I said, do you feel worse about Do you feel like you must apologize? Oh, sorry. So if you have to apologize to God for, oh no, Lord, I slept with a guy, do you feel like you have to apologize more if you got pregnant? And you said no. And I was like, this is so beautiful. But I don't know if you can expand on that. I feel like a lot of us Christians, and I think even that room that was sitting in your house, like, there's a confidence we get to judge others because there's no evidence for us.
Yeah.
But then other people, because there's evidence, like, oh, now I see. But then someone else has no evidence, but it's the same thing that they did. Yeah.
You know, sometimes when you're having a conversation with someone and you're so in it and you're deep in it, and then you
I liked it.
it's quite a lot. So basically, we were having that conversation, and then Zethu did ask me that question. Ask me again.
Do you feel like you need to apologize more?
Yes, because
you're not pregnant, or is it the same as?
And I said it's the same.
It's the same, yeah. Which I think is such a brilliant answer.
Yeah, because it's still the same. Whether nangade ison, whether umetu ukuthi I was caught in sin, then kwasekuyabonakalaa.
Yes.
I was caught in sin. You understand? So that's the difference. Uthi I was caught in it, but Kona, I still have to apologize to God for the sin. There is no wage when it comes to sin.
Yeah.
You understand? So Uthi, I did what I did, and I fell pregnant. Now I have to apologize.
True.
Even if I did not fall pregnant.
Yeah.
If they're not as what God says it is, then we are people. And it's what we will keep his commandments.
Exactly.
So if you love someone and you do wrong by them, it's only right to bring yourself towards yourself, humble yourself, or humble yourself. You know what? I'm sorry. Same thing with the Jonah. Jonah was in the whale's stomach, right?
Yes.
God could have at any point at that time said he must be chowed and eaten by the whale, but he said no, swallow him. You know. So when he was in that tummy, what happened was, instead of him feeling sorry for himself, he was like, okay, God, that was me. I was wrong. You said this. And so I come to you as I am and I apologize.
Yeah.
What did God do? Say, great stuff. Let's move. And then already to where he had initially positioned him to go. You understand?
Go to Nineveh, not
exactly. Not where you wanted to go. So that's exactly what I mean. The sooner you acknowledge that you are wrong, you are accepting that you are wrong. Your heart, deep inside your heart is even accepting because it can't get wrong.
Yeah.
And then you go to God and you apologize. You acknowledge what you did. God will forgive because he looks at the depth of your heart. I guess. I
feel like there's encouragement there for anyone who feels like I can't go back to God because now my sin is evident.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so much encouragement you can. Just like you said, it's the same as every other person who's done the same sin, right? I also like the fact that she said, as there were some people who said, what's next, right?
Yeah.
And I think we don't have those conversations enough. There are certain things we think, so other than pregnancy, there's certain things in life we all assume, no, that's just the deadest end.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened? And it's so not Jesus. It's so not life, even.
It's not.
And it's really interesting that we have these few buckets where we just feel like, oh, now that you failed at that, it's over with your life. It's over with your life.
So you're forcing with confidence that we did not even create this person. We did not even create this world.
Yes.
And we are so confident in ukusho ngomlomo gcwele.
Yep.
Ukuthi hayi, it's done.
It's over. Yeah.
So
what's happened? And there's nothing that there is there for no condemnation in Christ Jesus.
No.
Right? So there's always hope. Because he is God over all. I was praying, I went to church on Thursday, there was a prayer thing, and I was praying for this girl, and I don't know why, but I kept getting this idea that God is actually big. I don't know what her problem was. She just said she just feels sick. And I was like, God is actually big. And if he's big, he's sovereign over everything. Even situations we put ourselves in, even situations we didn't put ourselves in. Oksana. God is sovereign over everything. So there's nothing that we can be like, okay, now that I've crossed this line. And most of those lines, it's society and ourselves. And, you know, it's abantu bazothini. There's some that are God, but there's some that is just abantu bazothini.
Yeah.
And because we've crossed that abantu bazothini line, we just struggle to see that there's more.
Yeah, we do. We really do struggle with that. And Nqobile and Zethu as individuals, but do not condemn yourself.
Yeah.
It's not for you. Yeah, but even when the Bible says do not judge other people, it's not for you. It's okay to have a conversation. It's okay to have a debate about something. But when it starts to become access your only debate, then it becomes an argument. That's your cue to leave. That's wisdom right there. It's okay.
Yes.
My cue here is to leave because at first we were actually having a conversation.
Yes.
Then we debated over it. Debating means you have your opinion, I have mine. We speak about it. You say, I might even see things differently because now you've told me your opinion and how you see things. You know, that is a debate. But the minute I start specifically saying, or taking something out of what you're saying, and I literally say, hi, when? Then it's like, okay, it's becoming an argument, it's becoming personal. Then you're like, let me take myself out of this, because wisdom says, I can't now. Quarreling, I can't. Yeah, debate, we welcome, 100%. But everything and anything, cut.
Wow.
That's what it is. So
yeah. Thanks for sharing your journey. I think the last sentiment on your journey is the fact that it's so unfair how women are treated in this area. Even married women, it's always just harsher.
Okay.
Yeah, to women, women falling pregnant versus men, right? And like you're saying, no one is sitting the man down in a room and saying to him, I'm so disappointed.
In what?
I'm so disappointed. Some people are probably even shaking his hand like, yes, you're a man.
I'll score for
I want it. Yeah, you show us that you're a man. You know what I mean? Yes. And yet for women, well, I think it's at some point it's even being ostracized in society. You literally being like, no, you know, we have to put you aside. Like, and yet it's the man and the woman who are both the parents, and yet it's only one who gets told, oh, all these harsh things, who gets told it's like a different trajectory of life. It gets all these words of wisdom, and condemnation and being judged.
Even umuntu mesezoshada wake wezothiwa they sit down
With the guy.
with abantu besisa babayani okay, this is what a husband is, this is what a husband must do, this, and you know, some
Carry it on your back.
there's
Alone,
actually
yeah.
something I watched whathiwa maybe that's what men need, because men also go through the most when they are married. Because they were never sat down and told, say, okay, listen, in as much as you paid down for, but it does not mean that you're a slave.
Yeah.
So you need to take men out of that mentality first. Then tell them, Uti, with that being said, you took somebody's daughter and then you said you would take care of her. So this is how it's going to go down.
Yes.
This is what it means to be, you know, head of a household. You know,
Yeah,
don't just take it to your head. Oh no. Understand? Nasi, maybe that's what they also need, a crash course. In as much as Nasi, we have to sit there and endure from Monday to Friday, women coming in from your church, neighbors telling you how you must treat your husband, how you must do this, how you must act with your in-laws, how in marriage. Maybe men also need that.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's actually such a profound thing, because there is really no school. There is so this informal school that we've got in our communities. Can it extend to men?
I think it should.
I think it should. I think it should. And again, a lot of the debates going around, Rwanda was blind, and I'm talking about it too much. Rwanda was blind is the fact that that guy, Clay, confessed. It's like, I really think I'm really worried I'm going to cheat on you. And she was like, okay, cool, soldier through it. And just the controversial conversations around that. And realizing that even when his dad came on the one episode to talk to him, his dad didn't touch on anything. Dad basically said nothing. He said a whole lot of nothing. His mom spoke about, this is what this is like, this. But his dad was just like, good fun. definitely a tip scale, and it's bent on hardship on the side of the woman with these things.
It is. It actually is. Because even when you think about it, we see with conversations that men have generally, they always talk about, yo, I bet this book, I sure, but I say, I pambi. Nobody's going to sit there and say, let's go to bed. You know, and also as a Nasi, we need to stop hiding behind this Ndiobusi. I understand that, yes, at that time you thought you were investing in a future with your husband or your babe or whatever, your forever yena. I understand, but what you must also be selfish about, you must not do it for the other person. You must do it because when we are retired. Because when you leave that situation, you leave fine, you leave with Lizzie or whatever it might be. But the fact that they are where they are, we are just in a place which, you know what, I love them fully.
Yeah.
You know, and with loving them fully, I can think I'm in
yes.
So, knowing very well that you did all you can do, you love this person fully, they are their best version of themselves because of the love you gave them.
Wow.
Whether they can receive it or not.
And leave it there.
Whether they can receive it or not. You don't kind of want to.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with you. You understand? So the same thing you need to do is stop saying to yourself, ngamthatha ngamfundisa fucking knife wengazi nokuthi kukhona idinner knife wangazi nokuthi kukhona listen, baby girl, take accountability. Kancane, just step back a little bit.
That's a tough one.
You wanted that for that man. You wanted that for that man. You loved him so much that you wanted it. That's why because umthanda.
Yes.
Yes, umsizile wafika la defika khona. But all refrain from what I made them
we do love to take we take on the role of the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, how brave of you to assume who's
yeah, brave of you
to assume who's because how dare you? Because in as much as say I made him, I taught him,
yes.
And then you cry every night, say after everything that I've done, this, I tried this. Women must also start being accountable for everything that they allow evidence.
Yes, and no one asked you to do.
Nobody asked you to do it.
No.
Nobody asked us to do it.
Same.
And at the same time,
yeah, just go on. Because you've been saying
no, I say yeah, but we
the fact that we're the same.
That's fine.
That's fine. It's okay. Yeah.
Our responsibilities with our fine.
Also, like, it's so nice being a woman. Yeah, especially, it's nice.
We're not going to downplay it.
No, it's nice.
But we're not going to downplay it.
We're not going to downplay it. Next thing we have to do heavy labor that we don't want to do because, no, we like being women. Thank you.
And with that being said, I think with the conversation that we just had now, a food for thought or into that I have that is pondering on my mind is I'm going to go back to the same quote I was quoting earlier on from Marilyn Monroe. You would see if you lack ambition, you want to be equal to men, or women who want to be equal to men rather lack ambition.
Yeah,
that's the one thing I would like us to sit on and ponder on as the week continues, as the month and years continue as well, for self-growth.
Yes.
As an individual, try not so hard to compare yourself with someone that is not supposed to be even in the same level as you.
Yeah.
In as much as we are all walking through this journey called life, but act fine.
Yeah.
Act fine.
So for me, I definitely love to leave that verse that he who has no sin cast the first stone. Especially because when people who've sort of studied it, I don't know what's fact and not, they say that it seems like before they started putting down the stones, Jesus actually started writing some of their sins, right? And also I love it because it's a woman that they wanted to stone.
John 8.
Right? And now they're deciding not to because theirs is also say sobala because it was hidden before, but now that I'm writing it down, now that it's evident, now I'm willing to put down the first stone.
Yeah.
So I think for me, my learning and my thing from this episode is that we should be really careful about where we're casting stones, because very often it's just that ours is not evident. Our failures or our whatever is not evident, and you might very well be even in a worse position than the person who's being stoned, but it's just that yours is hidden. So drink water and mind your business. That's a song. Drink water and mind your business.
Quench your thirst, man.
Yeah. Quench your thirst. So if it's any about prayer. Yes, yeah.
That's what it is. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you
very much.
See you later.
See you.